In this video, we are going to work through an example using basic inheritance. All right, so first it says create a class named pizza with fields for description and price. Include a constructor that requires arguments for both fields and a method to display the data. Create a subclass or a child class named DeliveryPizza that inherits from pizza but adds a delivery fee and a delivery address. The description, price, and delivery address are required as arguments to the constructor. The delivery fee is $3 if the pizza ordered costs more than $15. Otherwise, it is $5. Write an application that instantiates at least 2 objects of each type and display the values. All right, save the files as pizza.java, delivery pizza, and demo pizza. All right, so first off, let's start with pizza. So we're going to have public class pizza. All right, and this pizza class has fields for description and price. All right, so I am going to add a protected field because I'm going to make a child class and I want this description to be available to the child class, so I don't have to use the get method. And then a price, we're going to just use double for that. All right, so it has fields for description and price. It says include a constructor that requires arguments for both field and a method to display the data. Okay, so first the constructor. The constructor should be public, right, and have no return type and have the same name as the name of the class, right? So pizza, and then we want to have it says arguments or parameters, right, for both fields. So one for description and one for price. Oops, I have this backwards. Just check that. Okay, and then the thing that you should do is just set each of the fields to the value of the parameter. Okay, so so whatever comes, right, description and price are where data is going to come in when an object is created, and then what's going to happen is that whatever data comes into these parameters, it's going to get copied over, right, to the field's description and price. And remember the this reference, right, that always refers to the fields up here. Okay. All right, so there is our constructor. And it says a method to display the data. So the easiest thing to do would be to just have a two string in there. So public string toString. And remember the toString, right? Its purpose is whatever you return out of here is going to be displayed when you print an object of this type. All right. So I'm going to use string.format, and let me turn international keyboard off. And I just use string.format with these little placeholders here. If you're not used to doing that, that's fine. You don't have to do it. I just like this method better because you have complete control over how it's displayed. All right, so this is called a format specifier, and this says that we are putting a string in this. It's basically like a blank that's going to hold a string. And this, let's see, I forgot the percent sign here. This format specifier is for a double, right? So corresponding to this field here. And that 0.2 in between the percent sign and the F says to round that value to 2 decimal places. And then after your message, then you tell Java what to put in where. Like so. So this says put the description in the first blank and put the price in the second blank. Okay. All right, so I think that takes care of our pizza class. All right, so next, create a subclass named DeliveryPizza that inherits from pizza but adds a delivery fee and a delivery address. All right, so public class DeliveryPizza extends pizza. All right. So that'll compile. Or maybe not. Oh yeah, so we're getting an error, right? Because of the fact that pizza class only has a constructor, only one constructor that has parameters, and we didn't make any effort to satisfy that constructor, right? Remember, we have to set that constructor up in here, so we will have to do that. All right, it says it adds a delivery fee and a delivery address. Okay, so I'm going to make those as fields. Delivery fee would be a double, and delivery address would be a string. Okay, and I made these private because I don't really have any plans to make child classes from DeliveryPizza, whereas with pizza I did, right? So all right, it says the description, price, and delivery address are required as arguments to the constructor. All right, so I'm going to have a constructor. It's going to be public. The name has to be DeliveryPizza. There is no return type. So I'm going to have a description, a price, a parameter for the delivery fee, and a parameter for the delivery address. Okay. So now I am making a constructor for the child class, right? So number one, straight off the bat, first thing that you have to do, right, in the constructor for the child class is making sure that you take care of the parent class constructor, all right? So looking at the parent class, it only has this one constructor, and that constructor has 2 parameters. So the very first line up here has to be super, right? And inside there, I have to give it 2 arguments, one that will go in for the description and one that will go in for the price. So in the problem, it said that I had to have parameters for description and price. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass those straight on to the parent. I am not going to do anything else, and that is pretty typical. If you watch the previous videos where I had some kind of contrived examples, I just made up some numbers to pass. And I said, that's not really typical of what you would do. This is way more typical, that you would just require the child to get that information and then pass it on to the parent so the parent can get set up. All right. Okay. So that will take care of description and price, which are located here in the parent. And you can see at that point now, I should be able to compile oops, I got a little typo here. That's the issue. So I should be able to compile and everything's fine, okay, because the parent is now set up. That has to be first. You cannot do that later in the constructor in Java, all right? So then that would have description and price set up. I would still need the child to set up delivery fee and delivery address for itself, because that really is only specific, right, to the child. All right. Okay. That looks good. All right. It says the delivery fee is $3 if the pizza ordered costs more than $15. Otherwise, it is $5. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna have to do is oh, sorry, I didn't read that correctly, right? I just kind of glossed over it. It says the description, price, and delivery address are required as arguments to the constructor, right? So that means that that these aren't required. I guess we could have it in there, right? But I am going to take it out. Sorry about that. All right. All right, so what that means is that I am going to have to put an if statement in here to set up the delivery fee, right? So it says the delivery fee is $3 if the pizza costs more than 15. So if the price is greater than 15, then the delivery fee equals $3, right? And then otherwise it's $5. Okay. So that gets the delivery fee set up. You may say, hey, why didn't you put this dot delivery fee, right? The reason why I don't have to do that is because there's no variable named delivery fee up here anymore in the parameters. If I did do that, then I would put this dot delivery fee, and you still can do that if you want to, right? But like for instance, for this dot delivery address, I had to put that there because I have this parameter named delivery address and a field also named delivery address, right? And so if I didn't put that, Java would get confused about what to do, okay? But since delivery fee is not one of the parameters here, then I can just do it like this. Okay, so we have now the delivery fee set up. The only thing, though, that we will need to do is after we get the delivery fee set up, we will have to increase the price, right? So the price and here we have a parameter named price. So what I will need to do, right, is to use this dot price, right, in order to make sure that I'm referencing the field instead of this parameter. Okay. So what I'll need to do is take the old price, which has already been set up through the parent, right, add the delivery fee onto it, and then store that back in the price field. So that will increase the price by whatever the delivery fee is. And so you have the correct pricing set up in there. All right. Oops. Did not mean to jump to that one. Okay, let's see. All right, I think we're good here. It says write an application that instantiates at least two objects of each type and display the values. Save the files as pizza.java, delivery pizza, and demo pizza. Okay, so everything so far so good. All right, so public class demo pizza, and this should have a main method, right, as a starting place for our application. And so what we are going to do is to create some pizzas. All right, when we go to create just a regular pizza, we need a description and price. So and it is, let's say, $8. Another pizza. Sausage is $9.25. All right, next up we're going to create a delivery pizza. Oops, we need an A there. All right, for a delivery pizza, we need for a delivery pizza, we need a description, a price, and an address. All right, and then another delivery pizza. Now let's make this one $17. All right, let's run that and see what happens. And here I forgot the new keyword. You can tell I have been writing more Python code than Java code recently. So, okay, so everything looks good here. One of the other things that I'm going to ask you to do, although this example didn't explicitly ask for it, is I am going to ask you to put these objects in an array or an array list. In this video, let's just go with an array, okay? So for an array, right, you might have remembered back from Java 1 that in an array, you can only have one type, all right? So how are you supposed to put pizza objects and delivery pizza objects in an array? Well, in order to do that, since it is possible to do that, even though they look different, right? The thing is if this class, delivery pizza, is a child class of pizza, right? Then what you can do is declare the array of type pizza, right? So that's how you would declare an array of type pizzas, and I'm just going to do it like this with the curly brace notation to declare the array. And that will work okay because of the fact that delivery pizza is a child class of pizza, and so a delivery pizza is a pizza. So that is allowable. Java will let you do that. Okay. All right. So next up then is I think what they said that we were required to do and display the values. All right. So what we're going to do is print the values out. So you could do that with a for loop, right? I am going to show you the syntax for the enhanced for loop if you haven't seen that, right? So I'm going to print out this array of pizzas, one per line, right? So how you would do that is the type of the array is pizza, right? So the type of the pizzas objects in there are pizza objects, right? And then a variable name. So this is the type of the elements in the array. This is a variable that you get to choose the name of. And then this would be your array or array list name. Our array list name is called pizzas, right? And so, and then we are just going to print those out. System out system.out.println pizza. So how this works, right, is that the Java will take and go over each element of the array one at a time. So first it will take P1 and put it in this variable pizza, and then the loop body will go. So the first time it will print out pizza P1. Next it will take, after the loop body is done, right, it will take the next thing in here or another one and put it in the variable pizza, and then pizza will be referring to P2 or whichever one it picks next, right? So this will print out our pizzas one per line when we do that. All right, let's just double check the math, making sure that everything is as it should be. All right, so the first two pizzas should be $8 and $9.25. That looks good. The second pizza is, let's see, $7. That does not look right. All right, doesn't it say the delivery fee is $3? Okay, no, if the pizza costs more than $15, otherwise it is $5. So okay, that's correct, right? So 7 plus 5 would be 12, right? So that's good. And then for the supreme pizza, right, $17, which is more than 15, so the delivery would be $3. So the price is $20. 17 plus 3. So that looks okay. All right, so we've complied with what we've done, what the problem said, but there's just one thing that is a little bit irritating to me, and that is at the very least, right, if you're writing some program like this, for the delivery pizzas, right, it should print out the address, right? I mean, that's an integral part of the delivery pizza. The driver has to know where to go, so the address should be somewhere, right? Maybe this thing is printing labels that go on the pizza boxes or something, right? And it should have the address there, right, for delivery pizzas. You can see it does not. For a regular pizza, though, like a takeout, you don't need the address. But for the delivery pizza, we do. We can see for the delivery pizzas, we're getting some of the information printed out. That's because it's using the parent version of the toString. So what we really need to do is to go in and create a toString specifically for the delivery pizza. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have public. I'm going to put the @override tag because I'm overriding. The toString method from the parent, right? And then I'm going to make it pretty much like the parent's one. So return string.format. All right. And then here is what I'm going to put in there. So now what I'm going to do is just show you a little trick, right? Remember we talked about calling parent class methods with the super keyword, and that's what I'm going to do. I could just take this whole thing and copy it and paste it inside the toString, right? Inside the command, inside the toString of the child class, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you a little bit more sophisticated way of doing that, right? What I'm going to do is just put the toString first in there. I'm going to put some space for the parent toString that goes here. And then I'm going to put address and then a spot for the address, okay? So that's the message that I'm going to send. And so in this first blank right here, in this first placeholder, the first %s, I am going to put what I get when I call the parents toString. And so what that's going to do is take the message, this message here, and stuff it in this placeholder here. So you can see I don't completely have to redo, you know, the toString for the child from scratch. I can still use the one from the parent and just adjust it a little bit as I want to. Okay, and then the next thing is in the next blank, I am going to put the delivery address right here. I could put the fee there if I want to, but that's already kind of figured into this price, so you don't really have to worry about that. But you definitely would want the address, right, for a delivery pizza. All right, I'm going to compile that, and now when I go back and run demo pizza, right, now we can see that the address is tacked on there. Okay, all right, and that's about it for this example.